We see it now, ma'am.
Fabulous. Well, wonderful. You know, the joys of virtual information nights. We will have a live information night in person at Gray this summer for all of you to come and experience the real life of Gray, not in the virtual world. So these are some of our former students at Gray Middle School, and they were actually all Avid students and STEM technology students. STEM and Avid are two of our big pillars at Gray Middle School, and you'll learn much more about them, but this is one of our favorite pictures of our girls, and they actually presented at Amazon as part of their class with Avid and STEM. So we love this photo, and these are some of our students who've actually graduated now from Gray Middle School and are off in high school. So we love this photo. We think that this really embodies the spirit of Gray Middle School. So welcome again to the Gray Middle School night. Our goal this evening really is to just welcome you and to get to know a little bit about the school as we move into the spring semester here soon. So our agenda tonight, we're going to talk a bit about the school mission and vision, as well as a day in the life of a sixth grader. We'll talk a bit about academics, athletics, programs, and activities, and then we'll go into a question and answer session. If you have questions along the way, you can go ahead and put those questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them along the way, and then wrap up with any that we have at the end. A few housekeeping pieces. We are recording this for families that aren't able to join us live tonight. We can't see you as audience members, but we trust that you are there and are engaging with us online. So just note that we can't actually see you because of the format of this video right now. And again, we would love any questions in the chat, and we'll have time at the end for more. The other kind of housekeeping piece we'd like to talk about is Tacoma Public Schools is a choice enrollment school district. So that means that you have choices with your students and where they go for middle school as well as high school and elementary school. And one of the reasons we're doing these information nights now in December is that January is really when those application cycles complete. So all the applications are due by January 21st of this coming year, so in a month or so. If you would like to choose middle school that's not your neighborhood middle school. And we have so many awesome middle school choices. We of course think very, very highly of Gray, and we put our life's work into Gray. Students living outside of the boundaries of TPS do have a different process. So if you are listening in from a neighboring school district, just note that your process is different. If you live in the Gray catchment area and attend one of the elementaries that feeds to Gray, you don't need to do this choice enrollment. But if you live outside of our catchment area and would like to come to Gray for middle school, there is an application that needs to be turned in by January 21st. And if you go to the Tacoma Schools website, tacomaschools.org, we have the applications and the information there. And certainly let us know if you need help navigating that process. So just wanted to point that out as an important due date that's coming up if you do not live in the Gray catchment area already. If you do live in our catchment area, you don't need to do that. You'll automatically come to Gray. What is Gray Middle School about? We are the Gray Pilots. We lead the way and we chart the course to college and career, starting that very first day at Gray. We really believe in cultivating citizens who think critically, act compassionately, and collaborate effectively to thrive in this world. And we take this mission very seriously. We talk quite a bit and we teach quite a bit around critical thinking, being compassionate, and collaborating. So you'll hear those pieces when your students come home. They'll be talking about those specific pieces and that part of our mission and vision that we take very seriously. So we always like to ground ourselves in that. Sixth grade is such a foundational year, and especially your students who are now fifth graders, thinking about that big change. Sixth grade is really their first opportunity to have classes that are different than their homeroom in elementary school. So we wanted to share a sample here of a day of a life of a typical sixth grader. We have breakfast every morning at Gray Middle School. So many of our students arrive by bus, or they walk, or they have parent drop-off, and they come in and have breakfast together with their classmates. And then school starts, and we have 6 periods. So sixth graders often take a math class, a language arts class, a physical education class, a social studies class, and then a choir class and a science class. And inside of there is also a lunch, and lunch happens during 4th period. And then after their 6th period, they go home, or they participate in our mini sports or after school clubs, which we'll talk a little bit about later today. But this 6th grade year is such a foundational year that students have these different classes, and all of those teachers work really closely together as Mr. Gerbishak and his team of the 6th grade teachers, they're always collaborating. They're always making sure that the students are just being successful, and there's a lot of collaboration that happens between that 6th grade team. So what they might be doing one day in language arts or math class are related, so it can feel very fluid. But those are the classes that the 6th graders take. 6th graders have at least one elective, such as a choir, a band, orchestra, a STEM technology class, or the Avid elective. And they also might have an intervention class if they need a little extra help in math or language arts that they rotate through for some interventions. So that's the day in the life of a typical 6th grade student. Our curriculum uses state-aligned standards, and the curriculum is listed here. And of course, our school website as well as the district website have all of the information on our curriculum that we use. It is on there. We also use Schoology, just like in the elementary school, and the family app. So you'll be really used to that when you come to middle school. Another thing that we do that we're really excited about and proud of and believe strongly in is our advisory classes. Advisory takes place on those late start Wednesdays, and it's a supportive community of learners where we do social emotional lessons, and we also focus on academic goal setting and monitoring. And we do our career and college planning and our high school planning, because that starts very soon in middle school. So we want to make sure that we are extra prepared for charting that course to college and career. We also do a lot of celebration in advisory class and a lot of bonding as a team, and it really becomes your school family in a lot of ways. Students stay with their advisory teacher for all 3 years at the middle school. So whoever that 6th grade advisory teacher is and those students in that advisory will be the same students in 7th grade and 8th grade, and that teacher sticks with the kids all the way through middle school. So they form this fabulous bond and also are really that primary contact for you as family members. And you'll get to know that teacher, and that teacher becomes a great advocate for your student and a supporter and a mentor in a lot of ways. So advisory is a huge part of our school, and we are pretty proud to offer that weekly to our students. I said earlier that Gray Middle School is based on a few different things. STEM is one of them. STEM technology is not only an elective class, but it's also a focus of many of our courses throughout the 3 years at Gray. The STEM elective for 6th grade specifically is very project-based. They do a lot of 3D printing, CAD design, programming using code.org, as well as other computer programming resources. And they get to experience class in our fabulous Dream Factory, which is a lab classroom with just a ton of 3D printers, and it's very, very hands-on. In this picture here, you see our students actually competing at the Mesa Day at Pacific Lutheran University. So they got to go and attend through the South Puget Sound Mesa organization a field trip and explore STEM ideas with other kids from the South Puget Sound region. And this picture is they were building up some kind of contraption that they had to use to solve a problem, given this big bag of random things, and had to kind of create a contraption to solve a problem with this ball. So lots of great hands-on learning happens in that STEM elective, and that's a class that your students can choose. This spring, you'll have an opportunity to actually select which electives you would like to have as sixth grade, and we'll tell you much more about that as we get closer to the spring. This is a little bit more about the competition and activities in the STEM classes: craft stick bridges, the straw tower, 3D printing in CAD, the balsa wood gliders, lots of different things. And this becomes a fabulous elective class. And you can see Mr. Schmidt here in the blue with all of his students in the pink shirts. And he is our STEM teacher here at Gray Middle School. Another elective that we have, and I mentioned it's more than elective, it's actually a whole school-wide program, is called Avid. And Avid stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And it's a research-based program that provides in-school academic supports and prepares students for success in college and career. And those supports those students that are in that academic middle ground, that are getting ready to really thrive and be successful. Avid is both an elective as well as school-wide teaching strategies that are the Wicker strategies that you see listed there: writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading. There's quite a few research-based teaching strategies that we employ across the curriculum and across the classes. That are these Avid strategies that are proven to help students succeed not only in middle school, but beyond middle school all the way to college and career. Avid also provides tutoring support throughout the school, both after school and during school. So we have a pretty robust tutoring program that's offered to any student. So Avid is one of those elective classes as well as a school-wide program. And then, of course, a fabulous elective is our music program. Some of you might know Mr. Tooley. This is his cartoon version of himself here from the 5th grade band program. Students at Gray Middle School can choose from band, orchestra, or choir, and those are offered as the 6th grade electives. We have a fabulous music program, and if students haven't started to learn music and instruments yet, we have the orchestra program that they can start in 6th grade, or they could also join the band program even if they haven't done that yet in 5th grade. And of course, choir is open to any student, and students travel throughout the state on different competitions and performances. They also do performances here, of course, for our own Gray families and at the middle schools and high schools in the area as well. So we're really proud of our awesome music program and hope that you can join that as you come to Gray Middle School next year. Wanted to talk a little bit about health and fitness and PE, because that's another elective that 6th graders have. And really, with all of PE and health and fitness, it's really to promote lifelong fitness through sports and fitness and nutrition. And so students learn more than just the regular sports. We really put an emphasis on racket sports and the correlation of after-school sports. And we also have a partnership with Multi-Care Health Systems in their nutrition partnership. And we do a lot of work around nutrition and goal setting around that. And of course, fitness conditioning with an emphasis on aerobic activity and weight training. So when you come to our open house this summer, you'll get to meet our fabulous PE teachers. You'll get to see our gym and our athletic facilities. But most of our 6th graders do take a PE class. So we wanted to introduce that to you as well tonight. So those are the electives, and of course they're supported as well by English language arts, social studies, and science, and of course math. So that's a peek into what the 6th grade curriculum looks like. But our activities and programs go beyond just the academics. We have some fabulous after-school programs that include athletics. And athletics is really around creating opportunities for student athletes to participate in educational-based athletics at their home middle school. We really believe that engaging students in sports benefits that student athlete, not just physically and academically, but also socially and emotionally, as we learn team sports and partnership together and teamwork. So we put a lot of emphasis on that with our coaches and with our teams. It's really about being that student athlete and collaborating, just like our mission says. We work on collaboration in order to thrive. And you'll see that in our athletic programs as well. We have 4 sports seasons in middle school, and we compete against the Tacoma middle schools here in our district. So we've got sports season 1, 2, 3, and 4 listed here on the slides. We're currently in sports season 2, where we've got boys soccer and volleyball happening right now. So if you want to come check out a game, our games are open and our schedules are on our website if you want to come and see some great athletics here in the neighborhood. And there's a whole sign-up process that our athletic director, Mr. Tremert, will help you with. It's all through the family app as we get closer to your students enrolling at Gray Middle School. But if your students even haven't had experience in athletics, these are open. It's no experience necessary. So we invite anyone who wants to come and try a sport to do that in middle school at Gray. So we've got fabulous teams and just a great athletics community. We also have after school clubs, and this is just a snippet of a few of those that we offer. Many of our clubs are student run based on student interest, and so every year we get more and more clubs. A student just yesterday was telling me that he was starting a dance club, and so we will be adding dance club here very soon to our list. We've got a bonsai club, chess and checkers, anime, the STEM club with Mesa, and also an industrial STEAM engineering design club. We have an activity bus that takes students home. So if students do stay after school for whether it's sports or clubs, there is transportation home via the school bus. We also have the Club Beyond program at Gray, which is a partnership with Metro Parks Tacoma, as well as communities and schools and the Boys and Girls Club. So we've got many community partners that come in and offer additional clubs and activities. That's all run through our family app. We've got a Safe Streets Club. We've got all sorts of other clubs, as well as tutoring that goes through these community partners that your students will be able to engage in next year as 6th graders. Other community partners that we have include the College Success Foundation and TRIO, and those groups focus on college and career readiness, support many of the Avid ideas, and that really charting your course to college and career mission statement that we have through not only focusing on how to find scholarships and mentoring and supporting students to be successful in middle school, so that success translates to high school and beyond. But it also is just providing other mentorships and other adults in the building who care deeply about the students and their success. Another community partnership that we have is the EDGE Foundation. And this provides in-school coaching to not all of our students, some of our students. It's a program that you can request to be a part of. And these are coaching sessions with community members once a week. And they really work on executive functioning skills, developing social skills, and setting student-led goals. And so that's a pretty fabulous program that we have to support success of our students. We are focused largely on helping students thrive and providing those supports that are needed to help students get there. And that includes intervention classes, additional teachers and paraprofessionals who serve as academic coaches, as well as working on social emotional pieces too. And we have additional professional development and an individualized program around the care team. We are a Title I school, which means that we have additional resources and funding that supports these exact activities and our community partners that work in school. So I always like to point that out to families in our information nights to know that we have some pretty amazing programs that are connected because we do qualify for the Title I extra support funding. The big takeaway in all of this is Gray is a place where your students come to chart their course to college and career, to thrive, to learn to collaborate, and to be together in a caring community. And that's really what we're about. And we're just so excited to include you in this community here very soon next year. And that brings us to our question section. If there's any questions, and I know Mr. Gershak has been working on the questions in the chat to see if there's any there. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see if there's any questions. Right, if you've got questions, if you would put them in the chat, that would be fabulous.
I think also when we have hands up, Miss Kilmer and then Miss Gonzalez, I think, raised their hand. I don't know if you'd like to come off mute. I don't know if you're able to do that. I could maybe do that. Let me see if I can do that. And then Miss Kilmer, you have to actually then unmute yourself. I'm not able to do that, but I did make it so you can talk.
Oh, thank you. Excellent. I really appreciate this. I actually have 11 questions so far, so I'll just pick one and then let somebody else have a turn. My first question was, do you have something in place for communicating with the elementary schools or the 5th grade teachers? My kids are in the SAIL program, so I'm especially thinking about the kids coming from the SAIL program. A lot of my questions are around that. Do you have somebody who's like a point person or some way that you are you know, coordinating with them as these kids are making the transition?
Yeah, absolutely. So we coordinate with the school principals at our feeder elementary schools and work with our school counselors who work in turn with the elementary schools. I'm not sure we work directly with the SAIL teachers, but that is something that we'd be happy to look into and put into place. It's a fabulous idea. So so we can add that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
sure.
at least one SAIL teacher has said that he knows of other SAIL teachers who would be really, really excited about having some kind of collaboration with the middle school.
Fabulous. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that idea. And we talk regularly with the principals of the elementary schools as well as their family liaisons. Those are great connectors. I know we've sent some students down to one of the local, you know, the neighborhood elementary school just 3 blocks away from Gray to be reading buddies and math buddies, and are going to increase our partnerships that way as well. So we want to have a really strong partnership with the elementary schools to support that 5th to 6th grade transition, because it is so important, and it can be really rough for some students, and we want to make sure that it's as supportive as possible. So I will absolutely take you up on that idea if you don't mind.
That's fabulous. Thank you. Yeah, I'll let somebody else ask the question next.
And I've also set it up so anybody that put their hand up, there you go, Ms. Gonzalez, go ahead.
Yeah, we saw in the groups for sports that the volleyball is used for boys.
So we have girls volleyball is our sports that season right now. So we're playing girls volleyball. There was an intramural volleyball program last year that was a co-ed girls and boys volleyball. So we did have that going. And I have strong interest right now from many of our male students to actually start a boys volleyball club. So we're hoping to get that started this spring. But the actual competitive team sport that plays the other middle schools is a girls volleyball team.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we look forward to having your students all with us next year. And of course, please always look for more information to come as we roll into the spring. So thank you, everyone. And if you have any other questions, all of our contact information is on our school website. And thanks for coming to the Gray Middle School Information Night. Bye-bye.